Ryan O'Connor of Maine wearing number 1. Ruby Krasnow of Maine wearing 2. Tess Fitzmaurice of UAlbany wearing number 3. Jennifer Moy of Binghamton wearing number 4. Casey Curran of Bryant wearing number 5. Jill Walker of UNH wearing number 6. Miana Caraballo of UMass Lowell wearing number 7. Marley Yoder of Maine wearing number 8. Ruth White of New Hampshire wearing number 9. Jasmine Trott of Bryant wearing 10. Elizabeth Lembach of Vermont wearing number 11. Chloe Whiting of Bryant wearing number 12. Caitlin Ioka of UAlbany wearing number 13. Claire Kelly of Vermont wearing number 14. And Sydney Leitner of Binghamton wearing number 15. A star-studded lineup, just as we saw in the men's 5K. We're seeing it here in the women's 5K. Chloe Whiting is your number 1 seed, and she is the number 1 seed in the 5K, the 3K, and the mile. And she's got a seed time of 6:11:17. That is 22 seconds faster than the next closest competitor in Ruth White, who had 16:23:05. Both of those times are PRs for both of those competitors, and also those are times that were set this season. For Ruth White, she's a first year out of Orono, and already ranked second here for this event. Someone who's got a shot here, but this could be Chloe Whiting's year as a distance runner. It's always someone's year when it comes to the women's distance events, and could this be the year Chloe Whiting? We'll find out here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first of many for her, so hopefully she starts it off with a win, but Ruth White might have something to say about that.
So you might have something to say out of here. Jasmine Trott, the teammate of Chloe Whiting as well, as Jasmine Trott is your 3 seed. And, of course, then you got Sydney Leitner and Jennifer Moy, 2 very accomplished and experienced runners for Binghamton. Sydney Leitner finishing 5th in this event last year, finishing 4th the year before. Whiting was 4th last year.
And it looks like it's, is that Ruth White out front?
That is Ruth White leading the way here early on. Interesting strategy. You've got top competitors at the front here, so it's nobody that you think is just kind of get out fast and then fade away. Yeah. Jasmine Trott, also a contender. So the 2-3 seed, the 3 seed, and the 1 seed are all 1, 2, and 3 out there.
They're out in a sub-40, so they're going for a pace. It's already stringing out compared to the men's race where it was just one giant bunch for the first half of it.
And as Jasmine Trott in second place, as mentioned.
And we're already seeing a group of 5 separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's usually what happens.
Yeah.
On the women's side. You've got your definite contenders, and they usually separate themselves quickly, and then you sort of watch the rest of it play out. As now they go into those back 2 turns. By the way, when we do have an opportunity, we will update you on results from the field, the ones that we have, so we can get you the most up-to-date point standings as well. But of course, for the most part, we are concentrating on what's going on the track here. As we got this pack of 5 led by Ruth White. A couple of laps in, still very early, but you've also got a very distinct top 5, and it is a top 5 of usual suspects. Jill Walker, who's in there in the top 5. Jill Walker finished 3rd in the mile here last year, finished 3rd in the 3K in 2023, and she's also the 5K champ from 2022 in the outdoor. So she is a very accomplished distance runner as well, has not run an indoor 5K.
See how that plays out for her. I mean, she has the talent, obviously, to put herself in the mix, but it's hard to jump up to a new event, at least for the season. You're just somewhere you're not accustomed to it. But, I mean, she's in good company with her teammate up front.
And we did just see that go down in a positive way in the men's 5K with Sean Kennedy Wonneberger running his first 5K and coming away with a podium finish.
Yeah, definitely. Putting up a lot of points for his team. I mean, there was a lot of low guys in that mix, so, it kind of worked together. But, really wasn't sure who out of that bunch was going to score.
By the way, I finally got that splinter out of my finger that has been in there for the entirety of the afternoon. That was a big one. Look at that thing. Not that any of you are concerned about my physical condition. But that was a pretty good sized splinter that I got from the desk that we're sitting at here.
And this group of 5 just keeps increasing the gap between the chase pack. It's
yeah, it's this group of 5, and it's whatever happens amongst them. You know, and these are 5-year favorites here, right? You've got White, Trot, Whiting. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then you've got Leitner, who's 4, and then Jill Walker, who's a very known commodity when it comes to the distance events here. And if you also look at the seed times coming in, the 4 that are up front, 4 of the 5 that are up front are 4 of the 5 that have those sub 17-minute times in the 5K as well. So that's also something that, you know, bears paying attention to.
It's also interesting to note Ruth White being a freshman. You know, this may be a learning experience, you know. Who is it? Whiting's a tenured athlete in this. Ruth may be playing right into her hands, just taking the lead and letting her do most of the hard work where she just sits behind and waits for her move. But, you know, Ruth has the strength to hold her off. So
yeah, so far so good. We'll see how long this battle up at the front lasts. I mean, Ruth White has shown that she's got what it takes to compete at a championship level. 16:23:05 is
most definitely, yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at. Of course, Whiting has that 6:11:17, and that is a school record for Bryant. That bears mentioning as well. By the way, White's time of 16:23:05 is not that far off the New Hampshire school record set by Laura Rose Donegan in 2016 of 16:17:12. So already as a freshman, she's on.
Yeah.
You know, if she gets better, she's going to be a record holder in this event. And, you know, of course, that follows in just a tradition of New Hampshire long distance runners especially on the women's side, as we've seen here at the America East Championships over the years.
She'll be in good company, good names in the University of New Hampshire record books.
Oh, yeah. Got some Olympians in there. Meanwhile, turns 1 and 2, it is still Moore out in front, and it is still Trot and Whiting right behind her. That pack of 5 has now sort of turned into a pack of 3, as breaking off is Sydney Leitner back a little bit. Jill Walker is well back of the pack. So now you've got your top 3 runners that you knew were going to be the top 3 runners are the top 3 runners. This is, again, a lot of times how these women's races play out, but now you got these 3 up front. And it's going to be between these 3 in all likelihood. Leitner's starting to fade back a little bit, but she can hang in there. Jill Walker's right there in 5th. And it is predictably the rest of the field that are back a ways.
And it's one of those things for those top 3, you really don't want to fall off because the chase pack's so far behind you, and if you let the other 2 get a gap on you, you're kind of in what we call no man's land.
Where you're on your own.
You're on your own. You probably start to slow down a little bit. It's hard to kind of tell where you are in the field, and that chase pack kind of slowly catches up on you.
Tell you what, here we are coming up, you know, almost to the halfway point of this race. And it is still Ruth White leading the way. Right behind Jasmine Trott in 2nd, Chloe Whiting in 3rd at that last lap. They're all running sub 40-second laps as well. All the way through as we check the splits here. 39.77, 39.78, 39.93. I mean, that is a minuscule difference between these competitors.
And they were, 5:14 through the first 1,600? I mean, that's it's like 16 flat pays right there.
And they're cruising.
16:10, 16 flat, yeah, right around that range, so.
And now here we go. Everyone just kind of turned their attention by the throwing pit. Looks like an official might have gotten hit by either a weight throw or a shot put, tending to him. on the side over there. So that kind of took some people's attention away. Looks like he's going to be okay, but they're just kind of patching him up a little bit. Meanwhile, we're back to here. Ruth White still in front.
Pretty much the same three, yeah. They're
on that back straightaway. Now it's just a matter of, I mean, for White, it's going to be tough for her to hold off these two. I mean, it's
two teammates working together, a freshman leading, you know. But if she does it, you know, that's a storyline. But
that's a heck of a storyline as the diminutive freshman, you know, trying to hold off these two very accomplished runners. Of course, Jasmine Trott back in the fall, finished second in the cross-country championships, finished second in the 10K at the outdoor, finished second at the 10K in 2023.
And White kind of has to remember when they're lapping them, not everyone they lap will move out of the way for them.
Right.
So Trott or Whiting can go fast on the outside, kind of block her in and make a move there. So kind of got to be aggressive when passing.
Yeah, traffic could come into play. And again, you know, you mentioned it. You're going against two teammates that are right behind you. But Ruth White also maybe shots fired when it comes to the future of this conference because, you know, if she's capable of doing what she's capable of doing now as a freshman, imagine what she's going to be able to do as she, you know, grows with the coaching that she has and grows as a Division I college athlete. It's going to be very impressive to see what she's capable of doing. Of course, she is still leading this race right now, but right there on her shoulder is Jasmine Trott, and Chloe Whiting, the number 1 seed, is back there as well.
And in this section, it's all juniors and seniors. There's one other freshman at 1751, but Ruth White has really solidified her spot as a top contender in this conference for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it won't be the last time we see her this weekend either. And there is White in turns 1 and 2, and Trott right behind her, but White's still holding them off. How long does this go for? And we still got 9 laps to go, so it could be a while. Or maybe not. Looks like Trott might be going for the pass now as they get into traffic here. Or maybe not. No, they're still just pacing right behind. I thought maybe the pass was coming up there into these next 2 turns here, but not the case.
Maybe they got instructions from their coach on when to make the move. It might be a little too early right now, but
yeah, leave the push for the end or do it now. Here
or
we
do
go.
It now, yeah.
There we go. Well, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was a matter of when. But now, what does Ruth White do hanging back in 3rd place? Because she's clearly got the speed to keep the kick there. They just made the move to make the pass, but I don't see her falling back behind. Not too bad anyway. She's hanging right in there with
she's
them.
right there. She kind of just, they took the lead. She's just hanging on to the back, and kind of the roles reversed.
Yeah, we got ourselves a race here. But coming in, it is Jasmine Trott towards the line. Now, if you're Chloe Whiting, does she have the move in her to make the pass on her teammate? Of course, you got this wall in front of Ruth White here, so even if she wanted to get back into it.
Yeah, she's kind of fallen off a little bit, but, you know.
Not much.
Not much, yeah.
Not up to where she's like in striking distance, but she's still hanging in there in terms of this race, whereas she's not going to finish like way back, or at least you don't anticipate it. Of course, still 7 more times around here, and she has lost a little bit of ground. Now you've got a whole bunch of traffic here.
Yeah, they're lapping the majority of the field all at once right now.
And there they are along the backstretch, in there with all that traffic. But finally breaking free, and Ruth White got left in the mix there. So now it is a 2-woman race between 2 teammates, Chloe Whiting and Jasmine Trott.
Yeah, Ruth White kind of tucked into the rail.
Looks like Trott or Whiting, Chloe Whiting is going to looks like she's still shoulder to shoulder, so it looks like Chloe Whiting is waiting for her chance to take the lead from her teammate. And by the way, it is still Ruth White in 3rd and Sydney Leitner in 4th. But wow, they are, Trott and Whiting are putting up some good times here. They're getting faster.
They're just shoulder to shoulder, getting faster, working together. So.
And they're putting up sub 39 second laps. And now there is the pass we were expecting as Whiting is now pulled into first place here. And this could be all Whiting the rest of the way. And indeed, that is what we're seeing. So kind of had that feeling that this was going to be Chloe Whiting's year as a distance runner for Bryant, and that is taking shape now in the 5K. As with just a few laps to go, Whiting is out in front. Now it's a matter of what is the time going to be when she comes across the finish line. Of course, can she hold on? Jasmine Trott's not leaving. She's still back there. Meanwhile, Ruth White on her own, back in third place as she comes across. Although White's slowing down quite a bit. She's now in the traffic. But she's very much in third place.
And they're still going to run. They're going to run some incredible times. I mean, 14:26 with 3 laps to go. That's insane. That's
insane indeed. I don't know if they're going to be threatening Emily Mackay's record of 15:44, but they may get a close to Kenzie Doyle's terrific time last year of 16:12:40. And again, Chloe Whiting has a school record time coming in of 16:11:17. Not sure if that's on the table. Doesn't look like it is.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of, waiting to make her move, so ran some slower laps, but definitely has.
It's definitely going to be a really good time, and it's going to be a championship time. That's really what matters more than anything else. And Bryant is going to go 1 and 2 here, which is something, the Bulldogs love. One more time around for Chloe Whiting. Again, number 1 seed in the 5K, the 3K, and the mile. Can she make it 3 for 3 if she goes for all 3? So far, so good. It'll be 1 up and 1 down as she comes around the final lap to try and close out a championship run. Front straightaway. Here comes Whiting. We'll see what her championship time is. It's under 16:20, which is pretty darn good.
Hug from her coach at the line, lots to celebrate.
16:17:69 the time for Chloe Whiting. And her teammate, Jasmine Trott, 16:25:58. That's a PR for her. Take that 8 days a week. Ruth White in her first America East Championship takes bronze, 16:38:27. An impressive run for the freshman out of Orono, Maine. Turning down the Black Bears and going to UNH and coming in third. That was a great race overall. And again, the women's 5K now in the books in Chloe Whiting. The second win for Bryant here today, joining Maggie Federa's win in the pentathlon. Meanwhile, coming in 4th, Sydney Leitner of Binghamton. Casey Curran of Bryant coming in 5th. So the Bulldogs looking strong here. Marley Yoder of Maine was 6th. Jennifer Moy of Binghamton, 7th. And Jill Walker of New Hampshire finishing in 8th. And that is your top 8 for the women's 5K. Once we have an update on the scoring, we'll get that to you. And next up, it is going to be the 200-meter preliminaries. That's coming up in 4 minutes. But before we get to that, we can let you know the winner in the men's pole vault as that is complete. We'll just sort of get some reference material going for you. So your number 2 seed was the winner in that one, Kalen Knott of Bryant. And he came in with a school record for Bryant, 16 feet even. Absolutely blowing the doors off of his time, or of his height of 15 feet 9 inches. That was his own previous school record. So another win for Bryant here today. First one on the men's side. And by the way, it's the third winner that set a school record. We haven't seen any meet records yet. We've seen multiple school records now. Meanwhile, Kyron Mayer of New Hampshire, the number 1 seed, he ends up finishing in second at 15 feet 6 1/4 inches. Gabe Snyder of UAlbany finishing third, 15